Does UpScale work with your scale? If your scale is a digital scale and not one of the older analog scales that has the needle that points to your weight, most likely UpScale will work with it. The determining factor is the attachment bracket. It uses double-sided adhesive that you'll peel it off, and then you stick the bracket to the top surface of the scale. So the scale needs to be flat and smooth in the area that the bracket attaches. A lot of the scales now are just smooth glass, but some of them, like this one, has a cutaway of it, so it's recessed here, but the bracket easily spans that area. And the bracket is 5.5 inches wide, which really clears almost all LCDs and trim on the market. This one here's got a raised bezel around the LCD, and the bracket will easily clear it. One thing you need to consider though is there's some decorative scales that are circular in shape, and the bracket really won't attach there because the circle is cutting out the areas where the tape would be attaching to the top surface. But your scale doesn't have to be completely flat in order to work. Like this one here has a curved area along the bottom. The bracket can attach to it, but it could rock a little bit, and it makes it a little more difficult to get your bracket square with the scale. And you really want it to be pretty square because when you fold it up on the wall, if it's at an angle, the scale will also be at an angle on the wall. But we did allow for some leeway in this when we designed UpScale, because when you attach this bracket to the UpScale device with the 2 screws, you snug them just a little bit at first, and that will allow this bracket to rock, and you can get your scale to the exact angle you want it and then snug them down and tighten them. And then your scale will be nice and vertical on the wall. One other consideration are the biometric scales that measure body mass, bone density, all these other measurements that use sensors on the top surface of the scale. You don't want the bracket to cover those surfaces. And every scale manufacturer has those sensors in different locations, so I can't give a blanket answer on that. But it comes down 2 1/8 inch from the top surface of the scale. So if the sensor is somewhere up here in 2 1/8 inch, there's a chance that the bracket may cover it. So you may want to take that into consideration. But if your scale is a digital scale with a flat surface, most likely UpScale will work